We want to start our presentation by debriefing you about how we came up with this idea and why it is important to join the planet's most important battle, the battle against climate change. Off lately, we've seen products like carbon neutral shipping service, carbon negative vodka, climate positive burger, zero carbon coffee, and eco friendly commuting apps. Have you ever wondered why these products are doing so well in today's market? Surveys have found that consumers today are actually buying sustainably marketed products, not just saying they want them. Among branded players, sustainably marketed products grew over 7 times faster than conventionally marketed products, indicating consumers' willingness to pay higher prices. To satisfy these demands, product manufacturers want to go green, but the big question that prevails is how to go green. This is what CarbonZero aims to help customers with. We are a group of student environmental consultants who aim to help companies measure their carbon emissions, including the Scope 3 emissions with the state of the art tools and life cycle assessment softwares. Before diving into the technology we will be utilizing to do this, let me talk about the Scope 3 emissions. This is the Scope 3 emission. Scope 3 emissions are basically the indirect emissions occurring in a company's supply chain. They are known to contribute at least 70 to 80% of companies' emissions, and there has been no such structure to measure them yet. Managing these emissions won't be possible until they are measured. To sum up, these are the problems that we aim to solve. They range from lack of structure in measuring Scope 3 emission to the problems that can cause if they are neglected. Our solution to measure all the emissions associated with the product is using a technique called life cycle assessment or LCA. LCA is used to assess the environmental impacts associated with the product over its entire life cycle. For example, one of our clients asked us to run an LCA on its detergent. To understand the carbon footprints, we get a list of raw materials utilized to make the detergent. Following that, all the scope 3 emissions are measured, which include raw material transportation as well as the techniques and processes utilized to get them. We also attempt to measure emissions during the production, sale, and end of life cycle stages of the detergent. This is how LCA is used to analyze emissions. Having explained what the technology is, let me talk about the workflow. Once we get enough details about the product, we collaborate with the customer to acquire a list of raw materials. This has to be very detailed list, including sourcing location and weights. To simplify the process, we also provide a checklist to the customer of the detail needed. Next, we utilize the best softwares and databases in the market to perform the LCA. These databases are highly efficient and informative. We will also refer to ISO standard impact assessment methods with which we can calculate various types of emission. Once we get our preliminary report, we assess the results to identify eco hotspots in the production cycle and, if possible, also suggest an alternative raw materials. Once all the steps are achieved, we submit the final report. Through our research, we have found that there are multiple softwares of this and have few consultancy services with them. For us, the biggest competitors are Gabi and Seema Pro, and we have the advantage of being highly customizable and using multiple databases to acquire more accurate reports. Now, talking about the benefits, as we are using plethora of databases, the reports will be highly data intensive and thus making it easier for them to make decisions. We will structure the results easily and precisely with visualization graphics that highlight components with high emission. As we currently want to assess the requirements of the market and establish our loyal customer base, we are working with on a pay what you can basis once they get the final results. Lastly, we can also cater to any additional requirements that they might have, such as comparison with the industry standards, environmental regulations, or any other. Lastly, we completed and finished three projects with Mr. Mar Demansky, Mr. Alan Cohen, and Mr. Christopher Thomas. Based on our work with Mr. Alan Cohen, he is very happy with his testimonial and the results. The quest for greater sustainability in the product is one such trend that seems to be increasing rapidly, and we, as fellows enthusiasts about the sustainability and climate action, are happy to assist the business. This is our milestone. We aim to finish 150 projects till the next January of 2024. This is our welcoming team, and thank you so much.